Winding down to close now. We've got the HDFC twins that have led the recovery today, or at least that seem to be closing for the higher. But look at the kind of volume as well on some of these names. So we've had Tata Motors record the second highest volume traded in history. Axis Bank, that's the highest volume seen traded since August 2016. So that's just giving you an idea of the kind of activity that we saw in trade today. As CK said, on close it may still seem steady, but it's been a very, very volatile day of trading action, particularly with the face-off in Galwan Valley causing a little bit of nervousness mid-session. So let's take a look at some of the other names. On the downside, of course, it was primarily Tata Motors, but even a Vodafone, Shriram Transport, looking at active fundraising, Cadilla, PVR, IndusInd Bank, some of the names that closed lower in trade today. But where did we see the maximum pullback coming in? Let's see what's closed with gains. We've got JSPL that continues to look attractive on the charts, LIC Housing Finance, Godrej Consumer, and ICICI Bank closed actually with gains of about 3.5% today. JSW Steel, Hindalco, some of the other names from the commodities pack. IT had a decent session. M&M Financial also was a buzzer in today's trade. Eicher Motors, Ultratech Cement, Titan, a couple of the other names on the list there. Avan?
Oh yes, indeed. Some of the stocks that we will still be watching out for is HPCL. Wait to see what they deliver. Do remember all of those OMCs as well have been in focus on the back of the petrol price hike. There's been Tata Motors that has digested its quarterly show as well as the commentary, and that has definitely been a hit across the numbers over there. Asian Paints, there's been that promoter pledge, so that stock too has been in focus, and you've across the board seen that by the end of the day we have seen that bounce back evidence. So 9,900 pretty much is where we're closing in on in today's trading session. In terms of the mix sectorally, well, what's taken a backseat is PSU banks, real estate as well as pharmaceuticals, while the Nifty bank, media as well as metal sector, they've managed to hold fort. A little bit mixed when it comes to the broader universe as well. You've got the mid cap which have held out in the green, the small caps though just about flat with a mild negative bias. Names like the Tata Motors twins, IBREL, India Bulls Ventures, Lemon Tree Hotels, Shoppers Stop, as well as Aditya Birla Fashion, they're all under pressure in trade today, while Natco, Ashoka Buildcon, Bharat Dynamics and Zensar Tech along with Rallis India have managed to gain smartly in trade. CK, let's get in your comments. Clearly, the Gurmeet, in fact, wanted to just get in your take, a quick word as to how you've read into the kind of quarterly earnings that we've seen trickle in so far. Where have been your, the key hits and misses?
I think largely on expected lines. I think obviously the numbers have been a little more disappointing than people thought with just a week, 10 days of lockdown. I think there are a few pockets we think are promising. I think I was impressed by the Tata consumer numbers in consumption space. Britannia numbers were good. It's now, if you look at post numbers, the April and May sales growth is promising. It's transitioning it to a food company rather than from a pure biscuits and cookies company. See their launches in the snack segment, which is the Time Pass brand, which is a 25,000 crore segment. They've launched 4 variants in the milkshake segment. Tata Consumer, on the other hand, even the international business saw a jump in both coffee as well as tea because of the consumer upstocking. The Tata Sampann brand looks good. I like insurance space, despite March being a washout quarter for them, which happens to be the best quarter. But I think the share of protection business is smartly picking up. We do like HDFC there. And a couple of pharma names, I think I was impressed. I think Jubilant Life Sciences, Lupin, Divi's Labs are some of the space in pharma we like in terms of not only the earnings but also in terms of the guidance they have given.
Okay, CK, in the meantime, let's get in your take. Clearly, you did see the markets being guided by the broader, by the global markets. By the time we've wrapped up, Europe as well getting off to a fairly heady start. Do you think that there's likely to be more tracking of the global markets now?
Well, given the extent of correlation that the Nifty and our markets have been showing vis-a-vis the US markets in recent times, I don't see why there should be a shift from those preferences tonight. So we don't have any local news. This China thing came in, took the market down, and then it seems to have blown over with sanity prevailing on both sides perhaps, and conciliatory noises being made. So the market is back to around 9,900, which is where we were in the morning. So I think we are churning around a certain small band now, about 200, 300 points, and overshooting those bands based upon overseas inputs. So if the Dow is up and about strongly, then we have a good open, which is a gap up, or vice versa, we have a gap down of 100 points beyond the range, and then quickly the market is coming back within the range, and stocks are a little bit all over the place. That's mainly because there isn't much news flow anymore. Most of the the results are done and over with, and people have in any case no expectation of the results, whether it is for the last quarter or even for the next coming quarter. If anything, I think June numbers, people have even lesser amount of expectation. So that's not going to move the needle. It's just the flow which is going to make a difference. And in that, the FI flow and what happens overseas, and whether that money is going to come or not, how the bond markets are going to behave, what is the currency going to do, I think a little bit of all this. But then these are all items which are much beyond the comprehension of the lay trader. So the lay trader is now reduced to just following price action, and therefore, this machine-based trading, algo trading, and quick silver intraday action, I think that is progressively going to dominate proceedings.
Gentlemen, thank you.
All right. All right, thanks so much then for joining in, CK, as well as Gurmeet, and sharing with us your outlook.